everybody, my name is Grizzy, and if you're watching and it's your first time, welcome to my channel and it's Chaos. And if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. My son won't let me be great. So today's video, I'm going to teach you guys how to track your macros. And before I start this video, I want to give a disclaimer. I do not tolerate any harassment, bullying, negative comments on my channel, and that does not only go for me, but if you are being negative to one of my subscribers or somebody who commented, I will not tolerate that. This is a safe and positive space on my channel. We're here to learn, we're here to educate one another, and if I do see any of those comments, I'm just going to block you. I do not argue back. I do not put negative energy into the universe by arguing with you, so don't try it. Thank you so much. I would really appreciate it if you guys like this video, share it with your friends, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Okay, I really appreciate it. Okay, so I'm going to teach you guys how to track the macros, which are carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. I'm going to be using my body weight, and I'm going to be showing you how to stay in a caloric deficit. So this is to lose weight. So at the end, I will explain the calculations if you want to gain weight. So let's begin. For carbohydrates, there are 4 calories per gram. For protein, there's 4 calories per gram. And for fats, it's 9 calories per gram, which is why a lot of fat foods have a higher caloric intake, because it just has more calories, okay? It's more dense. So before we begin the process, we have to determine how many calories we need to maintain our weight and to maintain just us being alive. So if you do not want to lose weight or gain weight and you just want to stay in a regular healthy caloric intake, what you're going to do is you're going to multiply your body weight by 14. So I weigh 166, so we're going to multiply this by 14, and we get the number 2,210. So my maintenance calories are 2,210 calories per day. Now we're going to use our maintenance calorie number to determine how many calories less we need to be in a caloric deficit. So if you're in a deficit, you can either consume anywhere between 300 to 500 calories less. Since I'm trying to lose weight faster and more weight, I'm going to use 500. You can use 300, 400, 500. So you're going to take your maintenance calories, 2,210, and you're going to subtract 500 from that. The number that I have is 1,710 calories for me to be in a caloric deficit. So my magic number is 1,710 calories. So now we're going to determine our macros. Woo! So for fat, we are going to multiply 0.2 times our body weight. Mine is 166, so we're going to multiply 0.2 times 166. And when you multiply that, the number you get is 33.2 grams. So I need to have 33.2 grams of fat in my diet in order for me to lose weight. Now protein. Protein is very easy. All you're going to do is take the number 1 and multiply it by your body weight. So if you're 200 pounds, you're going to multiply 1 times 200, 200 grams of protein to sustain your weight loss or weight gain. So for me, it's 1 multiplied by 166. So I need to have 166 grams of protein to lose weight. Now, I am a weightlifter. I am a weight trainer. So I do try to increase my protein just because you do need it for muscle building. And also, when you intake higher amounts of protein, you feel fuller for a long time. So it makes you eat less. Now we're going to calculate our carbohydrates. Now, our carbohydrates is a little bit more complex because there is 2 steps you have to do to determine how many carbohydrates you need. So the first step we're going to do is we're going to take our fat intake, which is 33.2. We're going to multiply that by 9 because it's 9 calories per gram. So we're going to take 33.2, multiply that by 9, and the number that we get is 298.8. Second step, we're going to take our protein and do the same thing, but we're going to multiply it by 4 because there are 4 calories per gram in a protein. So my protein intake was 166. We're going to multiply that by 4. And we get the number 664. I'm not sure if you guys can see, but I'm sorry. So now the two numbers that I took from when we multiplied, which was 298.8 plus 664, we're going to add that. When you add it, you get 962.8 calories. So that means my leftover calories are 962.8. Now, for the carbohydrates, it's 4 calories per gram. So we're going to divide that. We're going to divide 962.8, divide that by 4, and the number that I get is 240.7. So that is how many how many grams of carbs I need to lose weight. So ultimately, my fat intake for the day will be 33.2 grams. My protein will be 166 grams of protein, and my carbohydrates is going to be 240.7 grams of carbohydrates. Now, this is just standard. It will change according to your lifestyle, according to your fitness goals, and I do use the MyFitnessPal app to track my macros. I don't use it all the time. I specifically use it when I see I hit a plateau or I'm really trying to reach my fitness goals. I do use protein powder to get extra protein. And if you want to determine this to gain weight, you're going to do the same exact steps, except for this step here, where I took away 500 calories because I'm trying to lose. So if you're trying to gain weight, this minus becomes a plus. You're going to add your maintenance calories plus 500 or 300 or 400. And then you're going to do these same equations the same exact way. So if I did not do a great job at explaining this, I do apologize. Feel free to stop the video, rewind it, watch it again, take notes. I personally am not really good with math, so it took me about 3 or 4 times to calculate this. And it is always going to change for me because as I lose weight, I have to recalculate this all over again. So thank you for watching. Feel free to reach out to me on my socials if you need any help. And the MyFitnessPal and the LifeSum app are absolutely free at no cost to you. And I am going to put in a small video clip of how I personally track my food. What I'm going to say is I am not a doctor. I am not a nutritionist. I am not a dietitian. This is solely what has worked for me. And the information that I'm going to be sharing with you is just scientific literature that has been proven in multiple studies to help people lose weight or gain weight. But I am going to say, if you are someone who does not have any underlying health issues and you're, in okay basic health, then feel free to follow this. But if you are someone who is diabetic or has asthma, heart problems, any type of illness, anything that you're on medication for, please do not start any diet program or any weight loss program without the advice from your doctor. And another thing that I really want to talk about is I understand that so many of us want to lose weight and be our best. So we often fall into the trap in social media of detox teas and flat belly teas and Herbalife and total life changes and all of these programs that promise, weight loss. And yes, they might work for some people, sure. But as I mentioned, you cannot start any plan without the advice of your doctor. Why? Because you do not know if you are deficient in any vitamin or mineral. And another great example is, let's say you're diabetic and you're joining Herbalife or any other program, and they tell you, yeah, you can eat rice, potatoes, and bread. Well, you also have to take in account that that can spike your insulin. So these programs are basically like default programs, and you cannot give the same program to every individual. We all weigh differently. We all have different height. We all have different gym goals. And I'm going to be going in depth in that in the video. So, for example, me and another girl who's also 5'2" and weighs the same as me, we may have the same caloric intake to maintain our weight, but because I am weightlifting at the gym, I may need more protein than her. Or if my body doesn't do well with fatty foods because I gain weight really fast, then maybe I should stay away from fatty foods. But depending on her body composition, maybe she needs more fat than I do. So that's why I say, please don't fall into the trap of social media. And also, please don't think that you're going to lose weight overnight. Like, most of those ways to lose weight overnight is dangerous. And I'm going to tell you an example. So I'm very, very open that I have plastic surgery. It's not anything that I'm ashamed of, and it's not anything that I'm going to hide, okay? And just because I had surgery does not mean that I can't sit here and help others and motivate others, because everything I do when it comes to fitness, I do it with good intentions. I do it to motivate others because that's how I got into it. I had people motivating and helping me. So I'm not even going to try to sit here and be like, yeah, I got my butt and my waist because I went to the gym. No, I have been working out for 4 years, almost 5 now. And did I lose weight? Of course I did. Did I gain muscle? Of course I did. But there are some things you just cannot fix at the gym. And I had a baby, okay? My skin was sagging, okay? I had a little kangaroo pouch that I could not lose. I mean, yeah, I lost weight, but it was just very hard to tighten it. So I got surgery, and I did what made me happy. So if you want to get surgery, if you're against surgery, that is all on you, okay? So please don't sit here with negative comments like, oh, you're a fitness influencer now because you got surgery. No, I am not a fitness instructor. As I said, I'm not a dietitian. I am not a nutrition. I am somebody here that has a little bit of knowledge that I wish someone would have told me. And I'm just sharing it with you guys. Like, so please. Another thing, I'm rambling. Oh, as I was saying, so with the surgery thing being said, I did have to meet a certain weight requirement to get my surgery. And what I did was I took water pills. And I am not telling everyone to take water pills. A lot of athletes take water pills to meet their weight requirements. And that's the only reason I did it. I lost water weight. So I was 170. I was big. I was fat. I was 170 and I had to be 164. So in a week, I lost 6 pounds. I met my weight requirement, but that does not mean I lost 6 pounds. I lost 6 pounds of water weight. So I basically tricked the scale. Okay. And a lot of times with these tea detoxes, like all it is a laxative. It's just going to make you poop. And obviously when you poop, you're losing water weight. You're going to lose a few, I wouldn't say pounds, but you lose ounces, whatever. So, you know, just don't be fooled by that. If you really want laxatives, just eat a lot of fiber. I eat a whole food plant-based diet. So what that means is I eat food that does not have an expiration date. So apples, bananas, spinach, strawberries, that. I really, really try my hardest to stay away from processed foods. But again, like if I'm going to eat pasta, that's processed. If I'm going to eat bread, that's processed and has an expiration date. I'm not sitting here saying you can't eat things that are processed. No, I'm just saying that I try my hardest to stay away from those things. And I encourage all of you. I also do not cook with salt or oil. And I know what you're gonna say, like, girl, your food probably tastes bland, but no. I season all of my foods with fresh vegetables. I make sofrito. If you guys don't know what sofrito is, it's basically a mixture of a bunch of vegetables that you blend and you use that. I don't use oil. I don't fry food. I put everything in the oven, and If I am, let's say I have frozen vegetables, I just throw some water in my pot, put some vegetables, and that's how I eat them. I use Mrs. Dash seasoning because it doesn't have salt, but it still, you know, flavors your food. And like I said, I'm not saying you can't have salt, you can't have oil, just everything in moderation. But for me personally, I choose to stay away from those things because it's not good for me. Also, please do not let the number on the scale determine if you're losing weight or not. If you feel better physically, mentally, spiritually, then obviously what you're doing and you're eating is right. Also, your clothes will start to fit differently. You'll have better energy levels. So please don't look at the scale and be like, I'm not losing weight, because I could weigh myself today and be 164 and tomorrow I could be 166. That does not mean I gained weight. Like I said, our bodies retain water. Our weight is going to fluctuate. So what I will say is, if you're gonna weigh yourself, either do it every week, every 2 weeks, or every month. And like I said, do not let the number on the scale determine you, okay? It's gonna take time. It's gonna take a lot of consistency. And like, there's been times that I weigh myself and I'm like, bro, I've been eating nothing but salads. I don't drink juice at all. I don't drink juice. I don't even have sugar. Like, why is this not working for me? And I just figured that maybe I was consuming more calories than my body needed. So if you want to lose weight, you have to be on a caloric deficit. What that means is you're consuming less calories than you need so you can lose weight. Now, if you want to gain weight, you have to be on a calorie surplus, meaning you're eating more calories than your body needs. So I am going to show you guys on my board all of the calculations that I use for me personally. And also what I am going to say, I'm going to show you guys the amount of fat, protein, and carbs you need to calculate for your body type. It all does vary because, like I said, if my protein intake turns out that I need 90 grams of protein to lose weight, but I lift weights, so I'm going to need more protein. So I may up that to 170, 140, you know? So this is just a basic calculation so you guys can figure out the amount of calories you need and keep your weight on track. What else do I want to say? Let me think. Oh, please do not let anyone discourage you. And this is something that I personally experience if I go to someone's house and like, I don't eat meat. So if they're making meat, you know, they either get upset like, oh, you don't eat meat, what are you supposed to eat? Like, you cannot take these things personal, okay? If you are trying to lose weight, it is your duty to make sure that you either eat before you go somewhere or you meal prep. I personally don't meal prep because I don't like leftovers. I know I'm terrible, but yeah. And also living in New York, it is very hard to find healthy options, especially me. I'm in the Bronx, so all I got is Burger King, Taco Bell, Popeyes. But if you're out or you're at work and you absolutely have nothing healthy, just remind yourself that there's healthier alternatives, okay? So if you're in Wendy's and you're used to a burger and fries, get the salad.